stuck here. The cops won't bother me. Well, guys, it is a disgusting day out there. So, you know what that means when the weather's like this? I might as well just stay in and work on the shadow. And this is a big deal. Is that the master cylinder, this side glass has come off. There's two things I can do. I can just order a new master cylinder. The problem is I can only get it on eBay, and I could get like a Chinese sort of master cylinder and from Amazon, but I have a dime, and then you can put a dime here, and if you glue it and epoxy it in, it should hold. So you have to remove all the stuff from the inside. Just hitting it a little bit with a hammer, just a little, and I'll do that for the other one too. Alright, one has come off. The other one is definitely on really tight. So I stripped this bolt. I am going to have to gangster out the bolt, and I have a bit. It's a very thin bit, and I am just going to drill that bolt out. I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this, but because use it quite a bit before. I don't know the name. It's called helicoil. No, the helicoil is to make new threads. This has got like a reverse pattern. So the key to removing a stuck bolt is you drill it out a little bit and just get a little bit of a hole started, a smaller hole. And then I have different sizes here. I'm actually going to use the large size, and I'm going to put it into the master cylinder. Here we just twist it to the left, and hopefully it's going to break it. So I'm going to just spray that onto here. I should have done that first. I'm going to be pushing down, twisting it. Come on. Come on. This is terrible. Oh! I actually broke the bolt. Or at least I removed the top. Well, at least that's a good thing. That bolt is so rusted in there. So I got the bolt out, but that's just the head of the bolt. That bolt is just so stuck inside the top thing out. This is very much like the Yamaha FJR that I had. Same plastics and everything. And I wonder if it will be the same. This is almost exactly like the Yamaha FJR. It's very interesting. There's still some liquid in there. Alright, that bolt is coming out, guys. Beautiful. And there's the last bit of the bolt. There we go. And I might have to renew these hoses. So there's the banjo bolt. Put all the bolts back. And then there's these wires over here. And they belong to the brake light. The brake light. So the two bolts that will be removing the front cylinder. These two bolts, we're going to remove them. By the way, there is a direction to these handlebars. But there's fluid leaking all over because I twisted it, but that's fine. I don't really care. It's actually just falling down on the floor. But if your bike has got fluid in the master cylinder, it's probably a good habit to wrap something around it. So here we go. I'm trying to fix this bike on the lowest possible cost. And you know, I don't have a lot to lose when it comes to like trying to fix the master cylinder with a coin. So I'll probably do that even though it looks terrible. And there we go. We're gonna drain it out. If the fluid has touched any part of your bike, make sure you clean it out, because that fluid is really quite corrosive and it'll start to eat away at various parts. So be very careful. This is the master cylinder, and it's quite dirty. There's actually some like gunky stuff here, and you can see it in my finger. So my goal is actually going to be to clean all of this up. I'm going to use some ways of cleaning that, and then we are going to be fixing it all up. Even here, there's like gunk, just like gel. And there we go. This part has come out, which is like that little side class thing. I'm just going to take a very flat tool, put it here, and now I should be able to pop it up. And two pieces have come out. One is the metal bit, and one is a piece of the side glass. I took a very flat screwdriver, and I just kind of crammed it in between the cylinder, the metal, and then this bit which is metal, and I just twisted it, and it came out really easy. But this is what holds that side glass. Dime, and it fits in so well. It's as if they were made for each other. Here's another thing that comes out that I didn't realize that was stuck in there, and that's an O-ring. Using some of this, I'm just going to dip it onto these Q-tips, and I'm going to be cleaning the surface where all my epoxy is going to be hiding. So the Q-tips, because there's like some debris and stuff on here from just years of, I mean, it's from 1985. This massive cylinder is from 1985. It's not like they're built worse. They're built exactly the same thing. These little strange, I think it's residue from the glue that they use for the side glass. Not any like debris. So I scraped it pretty well, and it's pretty clean. This is what I'm going to be using for the epoxy, and I'll be sealing it with it. This is a clear coat. This is what they use in counters and things like that, and I got it at Home Depot. You don't need a lot of it, so you just need two little caps. You can use water bottle caps. It's a bottle cap that's only slightly bigger, and I'm going to be pouring it into here. So I'll take equal parts of A and B, just kind of drop it in there. So let's go ahead and get what is part B and part A. You can shake it too, just make sure everything is good. The thing is, you have to get equal amount. So let's pour in this one and just fill it up. We're not going to use up all of it. This is not a lot. But the other one, B, and actually I'm probably going to need a bigger container, but we'll see if we can fix that. And then this is our A. Oh, that actually works pretty well. And some of it might spill, but that's okay. And do this for a few minutes. Make sure you use gloves too. When you start mixing it, it actually becomes a different like gel consistency. You want to just keep on mixing. This is actually way more than we need, but since it's hard to get like containers, it's going to become like almost like a milky hue once it's done. And you will actually feel it. It'll start to get, as you're like mixing it, it'll get a little bit harder. Not harder, just you can tell that the viscosity of it is actually getting a little bit different. We are ready. There we go. So it is on there, guys. If you can tell, our coin is in there and it's all the way back. Make sure you push it really hard in there. And now we're just going to be pouring it in, and that's it. Look at that. You have to make sure that this stays level and none of the epoxy comes into contact with the surface here. So we're going to clean it up. It takes 72 hours to dry, and yeah, that's normal. Epoxy does take a while. This is countertop epoxy, so it's not exactly like the one I guess you should be using, but it should work hopefully. If not, we could always pull it out. And of course, if we mess up this brake master cylinder, we can always just get another one for, what, $30 or something. So all we have to do now is bleed the brakes, and our dime sight glass holder held up pretty well. The only thing that you have to watch out for is that when you're bleeding the brakes, that no fluid comes out of that reservoir. That is holding. I am so surprised.